primarily Gordon of McHenry County Jewish congregation. I want to talk to you this week about Hanukkah because next Sunday, December 14th, at sundown, is the beginning of Hanukkah. The word Hanukkah itself means dedication, and it refers to when the temple was rededicated as a place of Jewish worship. And I started thinking about it, and I realized that Hanukkah really is a political holiday at heart, because it celebrates Jewish autonomy coming back after it had been usurped. And so I started looking at a timeline of Jewish history, and what I found is that the longest period of one country or empire being in charge, controlling, having authority over Israel was Israel itself, from around 1300, before the Common Era, to 586 BCE, when the Babylonians conquered Israel and took some of the Israelites captive to Babylonia. That only lasted, the Babylonian captivity, about 70 years. Then along came Persia. Well, Persia was in charge of the land for 200 years. And then came the Greeks. And it was during that Greek period that the story of Hanukkah takes place, where the temple had been converted into a place of Greek worship. And a small band, so we're told, of Jewish zealots started a war with the Greeks. They were like Syrian Greek soldiers, so we're told. And they took back the temple, and it was rededicated to Jewish worship. Now the Hasmoneans, the Maccabees were Hasmoneans, were not in power very long, maybe 100 years. And they were not particularly good rulers, which is why when we think about Hanukkah, we don't particularly think about the Hasmoneans as being, these great rulers. We think about what a miracle it was that they took back the temple and made it a place of Jewish worship again. Because after that came, I have to look at my notes. After that came the Romans. And the Romans were in power for around 400 years. And that's the time when the Second Temple was totally destroyed, and much of the Jewish population was dispersed throughout the Mediterranean basin. Then came the Byzantines, only 250 years. Then came Arabs from Arabia, from the Arabian Peninsula, and also about 400 years. Then the Crusaders and the Mamluks for a short period of time, and then another 400-year period, the Ottomans. So the only time that the land was in someone's authority for more than 400 years was in ancient times, when it was a Jewish monarchy. And it's interesting because you hear people talking about, you hear really anti-Semites, not just anti-Zionists, but anti-Semites, claiming that Jews are colonialists in Israel. I suppose that would be like accusing Native Americans of being colonizers. Something to laugh at, but it isn't funny. Anyway, so Hanukkah was always a minor holiday because it was basically about this short period of time of Jewish autonomy and rededicating the temple to Jewish worship. And it was a minor holiday, mostly celebrated by lighting candles, playing dreidel, cooking something in oil, until Christmas got so big. You know, Christmas wasn't always as commercialized as it is. And so in this time where everywhere you look, you see Christmas decorations, and every place you go, you hear Christmas music. We have something to hold on to, which is really our Jewish identity, and that's our Jewish autonomy, is being able to celebrate with our heritage and our music and our customs. So happy Hanukkah. Enjoy.